Now on CoastTV News.
Waves batter Rehoboth Beach as a powerful nor'easter hits the coast. High tide at the inlet. We have crews along the coast tracking this storm.
Coastal flooding continues along the beaches with major flood levels being reached as we speak.
A car submerged in Millsboro. How much of River Road is flooded?
This is CoastTV News at 6.
Up and down the coast and at the inland bays, a nor'easter hits Delmarva. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf. Welcome to our News at 6. One high tide cycle down, 2 to go before this storm passes. Just in, the Delaware Emergency Management Agency has activated the Delaware National Guard to support storm response efforts. DEMA says it is pre-positioning Guard units to respond quickly as needed. Shelters are open in Kent and Sussex, and more may come, DEMA says. A voluntary evacuation was listed for Bowers Beach, part of it anyway, Sunday afternoon. People in Bowers have been sent to Magnolia. In Sussex, the Millsboro Fire Hall is open to anyone who needs to evacuate. Meanwhile, the state says both Delaware Seashore and Cape Henlopen State Parks, they're closed until further notice due to the storm. This was Lewis Beach this afternoon around 2 p.m. when the tide was at its peak. You can see the Moby mat covered in water, waves far up on the beach, strong waves battering the coast and covering the Lewis parking lot there in sand. In Ocean City, incredibly high surf. Take a look at this footage and see how high the waves were. The boardwalk had pretty dismal conditions. It was windy, rainy down there as the surf raged in Ocean City. And the Indian River Inlet Bridge right now, it is still open. This video was taken moments before our newscast. You can see the high tide getting close to the dunes there, but they have not breached at this point. The roads are open there, but not all roads are open. Coast TV's Kevin Zappe is live in Millsboro. And Kevin, the back bays like Riverdale and Oak Orchard, you're seeing a lot of flooding.
Maddie, we've been out here all day today taking a look at how the storm is affecting the coast. And as of right now, we're here in Millsboro. Take a look outside. You'll see where you can see the water taking over River Road and also leaving a car stuck right in the middle. And right next to River Road is Chiefs Road, where the road has been closed off. We spoke with local Jim Santangelo, who has lived on River Road for over 25 years and says he hasn't seen it this bad since Hurricane Sandy. Santangelo says he saw the car getting stuck right outside his home.
They come flying up the road as they normally do in this area. They think they have all-terrain vehicles or something, and they try to fly through the water. And the water's up past the doors. I'm sure it filled the car up, and they walked down the street, called somebody, and somebody come pick them up.
Santangelo expects the road to get worse outside his home overnight, and he plans to hunker down. I'm Kevin Zappe, live in Millsboro, Coast TV News.
Kevin, thank you. And Kevin will be live with us after Sunday Night Football with another look at conditions. And here's a live look outside into Ocean View. You can barely see, but you see those little lights sprinkling in the background? That's the Indian River Inlet Bridge. That's how dismal conditions are out there, as our First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams joins us now.
And not only is it dismal there, but we are concerned about dealing with the high tides over the next 2 cycles of high tides, because we're not done with this storm, or better yet, the storm is not done with us. Ocean City, we see the aggressive waves that's lapping upon the shore. Now, some of the peak wind gusts up to 41-mile-per-hour wind gusts in Indian River Inlet, just as an example, 35-mile-per-hour wind gusts in Rehoboth Beach, 25-mile-per-hour wind gusts in Dagsboro. This is the latest look at the radar. Now, although the rain doesn't look so aggressive and looks relatively pedestrian, it's an accumulation. That's the problem. And of course, that along with the high tides. Now, we still have an active storm warning off of the coast for us for Sussex County. That will stay in effect and a concern until Monday evening. Now, we also have a gale wind warning. Now, we've been downgraded from a storm warning to a gale wind warning. In other words, from 50-mile-per-hour winds down to 40-mile-per-hour winds. But still, aggressive winds nonetheless. Coastal flood warning is in effect for us throughout all inland areas. We watch out for flooding to occur in any inland area close to any kind of body of water whatsoever. And now we've added Salisbury, Pea Hill, Princess, and Westover to that list. And in addition to that, a newly issued gale wind warning is in effect for the folks that are on the other side that view us in Cambridge. So everyone's dealing with at least 40-mile-per-hour winds. This is a wider view of what's happening with this. Now, we've had rainfall totals from 3/4 of an inch to approaching 1 inch for places like Seaford, Laurel, Greenwood, Harbison, Ellendale, and Stokely. And we're expecting some hit and miss spot sprinkles throughout the rest of the night. So we still have more rain on the way, although it's not major. Now, here's a major deal. Now, I'm going to talk about tidal flooding levels, several of them during the main weather segment, but I want to highlight this specifically at the top of the newscast. Moderate for Monday morning, but by Monday evening, we're going to be in a major category as far as Lewis flooding is concerned, because that's just how high the water is going to get.
All right, Paul, thank you so much. Paul mentioned the next round of high tide hitting Lewis harder tonight, and here's footage from Lewis this afternoon. Both Savannah Road and parts of Cedar Road were closed due to water, though some cars were able to get around the closures on those roads by driving onto parking lots. We have more footage from Rehoboth Beach to show just how high the water got, almost to the dune line there. Beach erosion, definitely a concern with this storm. And over in the Long Neck area, some houses are left with water outside their homes instead of their yards. Just look at that. This is Lagoon Lane, no pun intended, where the road is submerged with water and cars are unable to get by. That's in Long Neck there. The Indian River Inlet was hammered by the storm today. Waves were crashing over onto the sidewalks, and roads were flooded, though not Route 1 just yet. Equipment that's already on site for nourishment projects is now precariously close to the waves, and a few folks came to see Mother Nature take her toll on the recently replenished beach.
What did you see? What's your reaction when you first came here?
Shock. Everybody is shocked. You didn't expect it to be. The waves are so high. Amazing.
Now, the inlet was already flooding, reaching cars there, and again, more high tides expected tonight and tomorrow. Still to come on Coast TV News, special equipment used for a Long Neck rescue, what firefighters encountered.
And we have high winds whipping viciously along the coast right now, and it's making concern for coastal flooding coming up. We'll talk more about those water levels in detail.
And a warning from the city of Lewis, what's been sped up due to the storm. Coast TV News returns after this.
This is Coast TV News at 6.
Take a look at this video from Representative Jeff Hilovsky. Firefighters with Indian River using a large transport vehicle to help an emergency call get through flood water. The patient was transported on that vehicle to the ambulance, which was on the other side of the road, which that part was drivable, according to Hilovsky. Ocean City says flooding is affecting public transit. The town says beach buses are not able to go south of North Division Street. Riders should expect delays as buses navigate alternate routes through town. The town of Ocean City says temporary road closures are in effect as the storm comes through. And because of the storm, people who have personal items on the beach or dunes in Lewis are being asked to remove them by Monday. That includes chairs, dock boxes, kayaks. The city always asks people to do this, and anything left behind will be kept at Lewis's maintenance yard and then discarded by Halloween.
This storm is bringing concern for high winds and high water levels across most of the Delmarva Peninsula. More on how it's moving and when it's going to move out of our way coming up. Quickly, I want to communicate to you that this is just the beginning of this nor'easter. It's not near over by any stretch of the imagination because of the combination of the high tides, the winds, and of course the rain that's on top of that. So let's go ahead and walk through this because there's some things we need to pass along to you so you can better prepare yourself for the possibility of problems around your neighborhood. Rehoboth Beach, 61 degrees right now. We have the winds at 23 miles per hour, and we're looking for it to stay stormy, rainy, and windy for the rest of the evening as we slip into the mid-60s. 24-hour rainfall thus far. We've had, near 3/4 in Stokely, all the way up towards an approaching 1 inch for us in Seaford, as well as Laurel and Greenwood and Harbison. Now, from an observational place, point of view, with our official sites, we had over half an inch for us in Georgetown, Salisbury, and in Ocean City, and we're still tabulating as we speak. Another listing up to 3/4 and near that for Del Mar and Georgetown. Actually, Frederica, I listed that because that's the most impressive one we had so far. It was just shy of an inch at 0.97. But once again, we are still accumulating more. And although the wave of rain is not looking all that impressive or ominous, but it's been around all day long. So we're talking about a cumulative effect along with the winds and the high tide. That's what's causing complications with coastal flooding throughout the area. Now we have coastal flood warnings that's active for Ocean City, West Ocean City, and then we have the active storm warning that's in effect until Monday night. So we're watching out for about 50-mile-per-hour winds from Lewis Beach down towards Fenwick Island. Now we also have concern with the coastal flood warning that's activated throughout all the inland areas, which includes Georgetown, Seaford, Lowe's, Crossroads, as well as Del Mar, but it also goes down towards Salisbury. And on the other side, in Cambridge, we have a newly issued gale wind warning. That means we're watching out for 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts near Castle Haven, Oxford, St. Michael's, and Cambridge. But here's the wide view of what's happening with this system as it's pushing through. And it's really all about what's rotating off of the coast. Now, we're also feeling much colder. I mean, we're in the 50s right now, 57 degrees, for example, in Georgetown and Seaford. But that's 10 to 11 degrees cooler than just yesterday. So we're watching out for major flooding, Rehoboth Beach, Ocean View, down towards Ocean Pines. And when you take a look at our flood levels, I mean, we're talking about right over here, this magenta you see over here, major for us for Monday evening for Lewis. Now, for Chincoteague, we're watching out for moderate tidal flooding levels for Monday morning as well as Monday evening. Then it becomes none on Tuesday. And last but not least, Ocean City, we're going to stay at least at minor flooding levels for Monday morning, evening, as well as Tuesday morning. You see, we have the storm warning that's active for Delaware Bay, up to 35 knots, nearing 40-mile-per-hour winds, and seas up to 3 to 5 feet. Now, the next high tide, for example, in Rehoboth Beach will be just after midnight, 11:59 for Indian River Inlet, and then down towards Assateague Island, public landing, We're looking at early morning high tide there, and just after midnight for us in Ocean City. Now, this is actually highlighting that we're looking for future waves up to about 10 feet right here. That's what this color is denoting. And we're looking at 12 and 15 as you go out. Now, we see it dialing back a bit by the time we get to Monday morning, and then by Monday mid-morning, it gets a little bit better for us. Overnight, we have showers pushing through, and for Monday, we're looking at these winds out of the northeast at 35 miles per hour. Hence the nor'easter. We have 41-mile-per-hour winds that we've recorded, up to 25 in Dagsboro. But look at these winds still at 46 going into late tonight, and then even going into tomorrow morning. We stay elevated till we get to Monday mid-morning, and then finally we get these scattered showers that's pushing across right here, across our area, and we could see a pop of 8-foot waves just south of Ocean View. Finally, here's a look at the extended forecast, and we are still calling for a yellow alert day for Monday.
Paul, thank you. Still to come, Sunday night football, an exclusive preview of the big game you can see only here on Coast TV. Images out of Chincoteague show how bad flooding is there. The viewers we spoke with say debris was brushed up onto the causeway. Others on the island say this is some of the worst flooding they have seen there in Chincoteague. It is Sunday night football here on Coast TV, and the Chiefs take on the Detroit Lions. Our Football Night in America crew has a sneak peek at tonight's biggest primetime event.
All right, week 6 of Football Night in America. We've got the Lions going on the road, taking on the Chiefs, but no problem for their fans. We know they'll travel. We opened up the season with them a couple seasons ago against the Chiefs, and they're coming off a big win against the Bengals.
Yeah, those Lions fans, they'll be there, and they'll be expecting some points, and they'll go against a tough Chiefs defense. But I think the Lions feel like they're hitting their groove. Minus week 1, they've been very productive. But what does that look like when you got to go play against one of the best teams in the AFC?
Yeah, there's a lot of confidence in Detroit right now. They're playing really well, but there's confidence in Kansas City too. They righted themselves last week against Baltimore. I think they feel better about the weapons they have on offense. And I tell you guys this all the time. Don't bet against Big Red.
And we don't. We try not to. Don't bet against us. Join us at 7 Eastern on NBC and Peacock for Football Night in America. We'll get you set for kickoff.
Where that game coverage starts at 7 right here only on Coast TV. But after the game, stay with us with your hyper-local news and, of course, your weather coverage. Right after that, we'll be live. Still to come on Coast TV News at 6, a new campaign aimed at pedestrian safety. The startling statistics prompting the move next. Pedestrian injuries and deaths are on the rise in Delaware. According to the Office of Highway Safety, in the last 5 years, almost 1,400 pedestrians have been hurt and 149 killed on Delaware roads. That's prompted the office to make a new safety campaign, also highlighting how nearly 20% of people killed while walking were impaired by alcohol or drugs. As we take a live look outside into Ocean City, one more final check on this forecast after this. Just in case you're feeling lucky, the Mega Millions jackpot is now worth $600 million. Yep, no one matched the 5 numbers and the Mega Ball in Friday night's drawing. The next drawing is Tuesday. The last time someone won the Mega Millions jackpot was back in June, Paul.
Time for another winner. So, Ocean City, we're looking a bit on the gray side, but definitely still very vibrant waves pushing across. Coastal flood warning is in effect for all of Sussex. Now, in addition to that, we have a storm warning, meaning that we're watching out for 50-mile-per-hour winds here. Now, to the south in Ocean City, down towards Chincoteague, we're looking at a gale wind warning, watching out for 40-mile-per-hour winds there. Now, we still have the active coastal flood warning throughout Worcester, which means flooding is happening or it's imminent as we speak. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a call away. Sponsored by the law offices of Bruckstedt, Mandalis, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. We are still calling for a yellow alert day, particularly for Monday morning up to about lunchtime.
Paul, thank you, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 6. For more news and local weather, you can download our Coast TV News app and our weather app. Please join us tonight after Sunday Night Football. Until then, have a great night.